On Paintabilities today, we are going to be painting this awesome pelican. Doesn't he look handsome? But we're going to be creating him in a little bit different light. We're going to be taking this shape of this pelican and the main characteristics of this pelican for what it is. And then we're going to be adding some beautiful bright colors to bring him up to a more modern looking design. So I'm going to share with you how we can take an ordinary picture and turn it into something extraordinary with color and just have a completely different look from something that's realistic. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun today playing with these colors, and I'm excited to get started. So let's get overhead and get going. So here I have taken that picture. I've actually flipped it so that he's facing to the left. That was the direction I wanted him to be in. And then using software, I did that and then printed him out so I could create my pattern. So I sized him down to fit this round piece. This is a palette circle from Plaid Enterprises, and it has a built-in hanger already in it. It's a really fun little piece to work on. And then I have gone ahead and transferred my pattern in the position that I want him on the piece. All right, and I also did a light wash of wicker white with some medium over the wood to kind of seal it, because with the look that I'm going for this time, I want to be able to have these kind of watercolory looks with running drips and things. And if the wood is raw, it will grab onto that paint and it won't let me get that look that I want. So I had to go in and do a white coat, and it actually looks really nice with this white background. So we're just gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna throw in some other design elements to kind of set his setting and position him where we want him to have some palm trees maybe in the background, a little bit of foreground rocks and things that he's sitting on. And so let's get started. So I've got some colors already chosen out for this. I may use all of these, I may not use them all, but I put them all out so I have something to work with, okay? So just for your information, I'm working with, this is Prussian blue and burnt umber. And that's going to be a lot of his undercoloring. Okay, so the body and everything and the feet. And then we have wicker white and licorice. So that's going to be a lot of his feathering in the background. More stark and less specific to the coloring of him in his natural photography. All right, and then we have some other bright colors that we're going to be working with to help build this design. So we've got some moon yellow, lime green, aqua, peacock blue, bright pink, and magenta, okay? So kind of all the colors of the rainbow represented. So I'm going to sit that there, and the first thing I want to do is kind of get our background setting in place. So I'm going to grab a mop. I'm going to get my 3/4 inch super soft mop, and I'm going to get that wet with water. So I'm going to grab some water, all right, and then I'm going to come in here and get, oops, that's a lot of water. I'm going to get some burnt umber with that water. I'm going to let that water run in there so it doesn't run all over my palette. All right, and so I'm going to come right here where he's perched, and we're going to go for a watercolor look with this. And so we're just going to bring that little rocky perched area, land, whatever he's sitting on, and we're going to let that kind of go away into nothing. So I need a little bit of white on that bottom edge, a little more white, right, to let that soften into the background here. Right, and then we can create a little bit of texture in there so it looks more rocky. I love these mops for this. Let's get a little more of that burnt umber, a little bit stronger. There we go. Okay. So I like that. I think that's looking really good. And you see how that water in there and that little bit of white has just muted that right down in the foreground. And using the texture, just pushing and touching, you can get some really interesting rocky looks with this, okay? All right, so I'm gonna rinse that out of my brush. All right, and so now what I wanna do is, let's get our 16 flat. Okay, and we're gonna get some medium on that. And we're gonna come over here and get this lime green, a little more medium. And then I'm gonna side stroke a little bit of this blue peacock. Medium, I want lots of medium in this, going for a kind of watercolory look, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is from the outside coming into this round, we're gonna bring in some palm fronds, okay? So we want those to be kind of Key Westy looking. A little more of that lime green. More medium. Okay, let's bring some up here. All right, and we like to work in our design triangle. And so we have some here, we have some here. Let's bring some in here. And we're going to go right over this brown. Get a little more of that lime green. So that looks nice. Just a real nice framing. There. Okay. Now we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to take this, let's go with a smaller mop. Let's go with the 1/2-inch mop here. Get some water, and I'm going to get some of this blue peacock with some clean water. All right, just kind of drop it in. Big drops, little drops. We're going to come through here. Now let's get rid of that, get some more clean water, and get some bright pink. More water. So you can see with this wood, it's still kind of soaking some of it in. So you have to move a little quickly with this. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat tool and we're going to blow this so I want to turn it this way. So you have to give it a good bang to get it to drip. And then anywhere that it's come right over my Pelican here, I can clean that off with a clean wet brush. Because my multi-surface paint has a sealer built in, and until that paint on top of that sealed paint dries, you can work with it there. All right, now I'm going to grab a 4 fan because I think that's going to give me better results. So number 4 fan, we're going to come back to our water, and we're going to get some of this bright pink and the peacock blue with the water. There we go. All right, that's the color look I'm going for. All right, and then we're just going to hit it with this heat tool to dry. Okay, so that's pretty much as dry as I need it to be, because it's dry around the edges and then it won't run. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is we're going to take this 1/2 inch mop. I'm going to get white. All right. And we're going to work on his head here. So right back here, we're going to come through. All right, and we're going to lay that white right into along his neck. All right, and I'm going to let that dry, and then later we're going to come back and add some really fun outlining to that. So it's just a real rough lay-in of white. Okay, so I hope you're having fun with this so far. Let's come back to our, let's grab a smaller one. Let's go, this is with a 10 flat. And I'm going to pick up the Prussian blue, a little bit of medium, the side load, just a touch of white. All right, and we're going to come right down here on this leg, a little bit stronger blue. There we go. And then he has another leg. Yeah, he has another leg that's coming forward this way. Medium on there. All right, and then you're not going to see much of his feet. Just get a little side load of that white on there. Just roughly put these in. You're just going for the impression that he's standing on something, right? Okay, so now with the same loaded brush, right, we're going to come underneath right here, and we're going to go across his belly. I'm going to get just a tiny bit of black side load of your Licorice. See how strong that is? I'll wipe that off because that's really strong. Come back to the Prussian blue, side of white, medium. And you're just going to kind of work that in with the black. Bring that down through here. There. Okay, so that's kind of the underpainting for his body, and then the rest of this is going to be some pretty vibrant colors. So let's come back to our 16 flat, and we're going to load this with this moon yellow. Get some white on one side of it. And work that in. Medium, it's round wood. Okay, and we're going to come right down his beak here. So their beaks, if you've seen a pelican with a catch in his beak, they're very expandable. But when they're not full of something, they keep them all folded down flat like this. So there's lots of folds right in here. All right, now I'm going to side load a little bit of magenta. And we're going to come right through here. And they have a bit of a hook on the end of their beak, on the top part. All right, so this finishes right here. And then we'll do this top part here. And we'll create that little hook right there. And pull some of this magenta down from the face. All right, now I'm going to take that same brush and we're going to come from the back of the head where that white is, and we're going to come right through here around the eye and down the back. A little more of that moon yellow. And we'll sweep that back. There. Okay. Now let's come back to our 10 flat, and I want to get some of this blue Peacock. Get some medium with that. And then let's side stroke some Aqua. Nice bright color Aqua. And we're going to come right in front here, around that eye. And pull some of that back. I'm going to grab some of this bright green, lime green, excuse me. And then let's side stroke a little bit of white on that lime green corner. I need to pull that back. There. Okay, so he's coming out with some pretty cool colors. I'm liking it so far. Okay, let me get some medium with these colors on my brush. Get a little more of that blue Peacock there. Medium. All right, and let's come right in through here. So this is his back, and then the wings are folding over the top of it. A little more Aqua down here. Medium with that Aqua and blue Peacock. And we're going to do his tail feathers coming up. So we're going to push in here with the blue Peacock down. Right through there. And then we're going to do another layer right here. Okay. All right, now let's come back to our 16 flat. And we're going to get medium on that. And I'm going to go with this lime green. And let's get some Prussian blue with that. So Prussian blue, double load, lime green. I need more lime green. Push that across. There we go. Medium. And I think we're ready. All right, so what I want to do with this is we're going to come along this outside edge here. And we're pushing and layering leading with that lime green. Up this wing. And these wings go over the side. Need a little more of that Prussian in there. Okay, so remembering that when you're layering feathers, you're starting at the bottom and layering as you go up. They touch each other, one layer on top of the other. Okay? You don't go the other way. You don't start from the top and work your way back. you'll end up with the ends of your brush strokes being dominant and visible, and that doesn't look very pretty. All right, so then same thing down here. Let's go up along this edge first. Need some medium in my brush. And this edge. Right, so you're covering up these brush stroke ends when you're doing this, so that's why it's important to start at the bottom and work your way up. I'm going to get a little touch of white in that lime green now. All right, and then where this top of the wing is, right here on this side, let's put that shoulder in first. And then we'll come in, that's with our finishing strokes here. And the idea is that you've matched that kind of shoulder color so that it looks like it blends in. And you can soften it a little bit if you need to help it match together there. All right, so he's turning out pretty colorful. I like him so far. Now, the next thing I want to do is we need to get this eye in place so that we can do the detail work around it. So let's come down just a little closer. Right there. And I'm going to get my script liner. We're going to get some of this moon yellow first, and we're going to come around this eye. The whole area. Okay, then you can dip the handle into Licorice, and we're going to dot the center right there. Not real bright, or not real big, I should say. Then I can come get Licorice on the tip of my liner, and you're going to go around it with little wiggly lines. There we go. Now that has to kind of dry, and then we can do some white highlights in there. And while that's drying, let's come back to our feathers and finish those up. So I'm going to take a rake brush here. This is a 5/8 inch rake, and I've got that wet. We're going to load it with white, and then we're going to get some black, some licorice. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to come along. Let's start down the back of the neck first. So here, come through here, and then here, you're going to pull little feathers coming off the back of his head. Then I want to grab some Prussian blue and come over that black. And pull it down this way. right through there. Now we're not done with that. What I want to do next is clean that color out of there and then come get some clean white while this is wet. We're going to pull that from that neck out, and it's picking that up, see? Now I'm getting a lot of it. I want to wipe off some. But I want that color coming into this neck area, so it's highlighting. Wipe that off, come get clean white. Not highlighting, it's adding some texture and depth and making that neck look rounded. Okay, now I keep cleaning that brush off and then coming back and getting clean white. So now you're seeing that blue and gray and black, and we're getting some feathered stroke texture in there. Now the last thing I'm going to do is get some of this moon yellow again, and let's come back from the head into that white. See, that white is wet, so it's coming picking it up. So I'm going to wipe that off and come back and get that. Okay, then to finish that, I have to come and get just a little bit of this magenta right from this edge and pull that into the yellow right there. He's looking really cool. Okay, now that eye has dried, I want to get my liner again. Let's get a little bit of white on the tip and come right in here and add a little highlight. Oops, that's not dry enough. You need fresh white. There we go. And then you can add a few little highlights around there. Now one thing I'm not happy with, and I'm going to show you how we can fix it, is his leg got really, really big. And so because my background is white, I should be able to come in here with some white and go right over that. Make that a little less clubfootish. Now, and clean that brush, and then I'm going to side load a little bit of white, and we're going to come right through here and give a highlight on the front of that. Okay. All right, now what really makes these look whimsical and fun is if you come in with a liner and get some inky black, twist it out so you get a nice tip on it. And then you can do some outlining. And you gotta hold yourself steady with your pinky or your other hand or whatever it takes. to keep that steady. And it's okay if it moves. It's just if it's gonna move, then you have to consistently move or be consistently straight. Okay. I'm going to come in here and we'll do some outline, detail lines, excuse me. All right, now I feel like that's pretty good. But I want to do just a little something more fun in the front. So let's get some Aqua. I've got this is my Rake brush. I got Aqua. I'm going to pick up a little bit of lime green, and we can pull in some little grasses here. Let's get some of that bright pink. Pink and green make brown, so you have to be careful with that. There. Okay, so I feel like that's a pretty fun little guy to do. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I'm just going to get some inky Aqua right here on my 2 script liner. And we will sign this and call him done. And he's going to go outside by the pool. So isn't he fun? I think that was a really good lesson on what to do with some colors and just have a good time. I think he's really fun and cute, and I hope you'll give him a try. Thanks for watching Paintabilities this week. Come back next week and we'll be doing another bird. Bye-bye.